How's it going, everybody? This is Joseph Lal here with a new episode of Old Movie Modern Audience. And today we're going to talk about one of the most famous movies of all time, the most highly regarded films of all time, Citizen Kane. It's respected by film critics. It's on the top of AFI's list of the greatest movies ever made. It's on the Sight and Sound poll for critics, and they give it a lot of praise. It's on IMDb's list of one of the greatest movies ever. But I don't care about any of all that. For the sake of this video, I want to talk about whether it's still watchable to a modern audience member today. That is, if you're into Hollywood blockbusters and you want to get into old films, can you just pop Citizen Kane in and enjoy it right out of the bag as it is? My answer to the question is a no. I don't think that Citizen Kane is a movie that's enjoyable if you just watch it without knowing anything about it going into it. And I want to clarify here, I'm not saying that Citizen Kane is a bad film. Even if I did, my opinion, in the grand context of things, probably isn't very relevant considering that so many critics across the board and the whole internet says that this is a good movie. However, I had some friends over to watch this movie. My wife and I and two other friends, we were all about the same age group, born in the 80s or 90s, and we thought it was an okay film, but there were moments where we were bored. There were moments where we felt like, why is this movie so highly regarded? And at the end of the day, it was nice watching the film, but it's hard to live up to the hype of being the best movie or having the reputation of being the best movie ever made in the history of mankind. So, needless to say, I didn't think it was the greatest movie of all time. I enjoyed the movie more so than I think the other three people did, just because I have more of an interest in film in general. I think that Orson Welles is a cool film director. His techniques in this film are very interesting. The things he did with the camera, the way he painted with light, and he took advantage of black and white filmography is, filmography, I think that's the wrong word to use here. Black and white cinematography was really interesting here, and it was nice to watch. My wife made similar comments that she liked the visual feel of this movie. The storyline is also interesting. They're trying to find out, these reporters are trying to find out what Rosebud means. Rosebud is an important element in Charles Foster Kane's life. He's the main character in this movie, and that creates an element of suspense or mystery. You always want to know what Rosebud is. And on top of that, the overall style or the story about this mogul becoming full of himself and just trying to do whatever he wants to do and doing whatever he wants to do because of the money he has is also interesting and still relevant today. I think it's possibly very interesting to talk about and watch and talk about and discuss in the Trump era because maybe there's a lot of parallels between the fictional Charles Foster Kane and Donald Trump of today. So all those things are the nice things about Citizen Kane. I mentioned some of the negative things. I think a lot of people are going to not like the old-timiness of the movie. There's a couple of parts where it feels a little bit dated. So I think on the whole, and again, I want to clarify, I'm not saying that Citizen Kane is a bad film. It certainly is not, but it's not a good place to get started in watching old films. And the reason why I say that is I don't want people to try getting into old films and then seeing, oh, this has a lot of good ratings on the internet, so let me start off with that, and then you don't like it, and then you don't watch any more old films. That defeats the purpose of diving into this classic age of cinema. So there are some other films that I recommend instead if you want to start off with old films, and I'm going to recommend those in other videos. But for now, I say just for now, pass on Citizen Kane, get more into the field, get more into watching old movies and understanding the importance of Citizen Kane in the context of cinema, and then you can probably start watching Citizen Kane, and I think then you would like it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this a rating of a 6 or a 7. That doesn't mean that this movie is a 6 or a 7. I'm saying, of course, the world says that this movie is a 10. This is the standard for all movies. But in the context of old movie, modern audience, is it watchable? Is it entertaining to the average person from today? I would say it's a 6 out of 10, and I would say start elsewhere. Thanks for watching this video. Put a thumbs up. I guess this is what I'm new to vlogging, so I'm supposed to say these things. Put a thumbs up or subscribe and all that stuff that I'm supposed to say. And thanks for watching. Check out my other videos if you get the chance. See you later.